In this video, I'm going to show you two sort of lifestyles that I had in the last year. And the first one was when I was like massively on self-improvement and I was doing all the habits basically. So I'll give you a sort of rundown of my day. Wake up, first thing I'd do, like cold shower, get some sunlight, and then I'd read. And then after I read, I would go to the gym. After I went to the gym, I'd go to the library at university, study for exams and stuff. Then I'd come back in the evening and wind down, warm shower, sit in a dark room for a bit, kind of unwind, and then go to bed. That was my life for a lot of third year of university. And then this is the second one, right? So recently I went to Moldova to do some vlogging, do some recording for not this channel, but another YouTube channel that I have. And while I was there, I had to take a lot of compromises on my sort of ideal routine, because I was not, I didn't have the facilities to do all the normal sort of self-improvement things. So I'd get up about 10 o'clock, I'd have some food, and then I'd just go out and I'd film videos all day long. I'd just wander around Chisinau, which is the capital of Moldova, or I'd get a bus to another town, and just the whole day I'd just be filming content basically for this YouTube channel. And in the evenings, I'd get back and I'd talk to a bunch of the guys who were also staying at the hostel I was at. There were lots of Ukrainian refugees there who were just kind of hanging out in Moldova, and we'd all have a drink some vodka, watch the football, and then I'd go to bed, a bit tipsy, about 1-2 o'clock in the evening. That was an average day. And the point I'm getting at is the first example would be that's the best routine, right? Look at all the great stuff I'm doing in the morning. So I'm getting sunlight, I'm reading, I'm going to the gym. I was getting no exercise when I was in Moldova. I was walking, quite a lot, which is exercise, but I wasn't intentionally doing any sort of disciplined physical training. When I was in Moldova, I wasn't sleeping well. I was sleeping on a, little bed in a hostel where people were constantly, turning the lights on and sort of, talking. Like I said, I was drinking. Heaven forbid, I was drinking in the evening. That, which is terrible for your sleep and stuff like that. And I was doing all this bad stuff. I wasn't eating healthily. I was just eating kind of stuff that I just found, if I found, I'd just have to find a cafe and stuff and just eat there, So I was having quite a lot of carbs. I remember one time I went to this town outside the capital called Aini Noi, and there was no restaurant in the entire town, so I just had to get a pack of crisps for lunch. That's just off the scale unhealthy to do. And yeah, if I'm honest, if I really drop my ego and just answer objectively, I would choose that unhealthy lifestyle of living in, of just working, filming vlogs in Moldova, over the other one where I was healthy in a heartbeat. And the reason for it is because even though I was doing all these good habits, there was no real bigger picture to why I was doing them. I was just kind of doing it for the sake of it, for kind of self-optimization. And in a sense, there seems like there's nothing wrong with optimizing yourself. Why shouldn't you want to get good sleep and, exercise and stuff like that and meditate? But the trouble is, if you're not doing it with a higher purpose in mind, then it's just empty. And honestly, it just feels so purposeless. That time when I was in third year of uni, I look back on all these good habits I was doing, but honestly, they were the most meaningless time of my life, because I just wasn't really doing anything. I mean, I was recording these YouTube videos, but didn't really have much of a social life. I wasn't really, there was nothing really that excited me about the day ahead. You know, I didn't wake up looking forwards to what I was really doing. Like, I was eager to do it because I got it in my head that I just wanted to optimize myself as much as possible. But there was no real joy behind it. Meanwhile, I was basically in a flow state for the entire time I was in Moldova. Like, I was just so excited to be there. You know, like, I just had so much fun for the entire day. And yet, I wasn't living a very healthy lifestyle. You know, I wasn't meditating. You know, like I say, I wasn't eating healthily. All this bullshit. And yet, I would choose it in a heartbeat against the previous lifestyle. And I just think the reason for this is because we're made to have, like, to do stuff rather than, like, just be good at doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think the analogy is a bit like having a car and just constantly repairing it. You know, that's kind of what the self-optimization life is like, where you're just constantly repairing the car, constantly cleaning it, you know, but you're never actually taking it out for a drive. Meanwhile, the sort of Moldova life that I was living was like, I just had some old Ford Fiesta that was falling to bits, but I still used it everywhere. You know, I still drove it around. That's kind of a similar thing. You know, cars are meant to be driven. They're not made to be perfect. Now, like, yeah, great, keep your car in good condition and whatever, but you should keep it in good condition because you're going to use it. And I just think the reason why that part of my life was so meaningless, even though I was doing all these self-improvement stuff, was because I didn't have, like, a higher purpose, really. It was, like I say, there was nothing, I don't remember really looking forward to anything in that time period. And that's just no way to be living. And it makes me so angry that people kind of don't see that, like, there's no point in just doing all this stuff if there's not something to go along with it. And this is really what I'm going to get to, is you just want to have something to go along with this lifestyle where you're disciplined and you're going to the gym and you're meditating and stuff like that. You need to have something to go along with it, to accompany it. And if you don't, you might as well not do it, or almost, like, because the fundamental thing about life is doing stuff, getting stuff done, not optimizing your ability to do that stuff. And that's where you get the greatest fulfillment. And so I think self-improvement should be a vehicle, not like the end goal. And I think if you're on self-improvement, you want to think quite critically about what stuff you're going to do and why, rather than just have this any benefit mindset of just constantly adding on other things because it's gonna help you. Oh, I need to get a cold plunge because then I'll increase my dopamine for this amount, and then I need to get, like, a sauna, and then I need to get this amount of sunlight at this time. Like, you always ask yourself why, and, like, really just, you want to have it so that the self-improvement habits, you are doing the habits rather than the habits, you're in control of the habits rather than the habits are in control of you. And you want the habits to be built around your life rather than your life being built around the habits. That's a good way to look at it. So, for example, at the moment, like, I do still have lots of, like, quite weird, esoteric self-improvement things that I do. Like, I mean, I've shown it in another video, but, like, I've got my bed down here on the floor because it's better for my spine. Like, you know, you sleep better, your body's more able to get rid of spinal fluids if you sleep, you know, on the floor with a more sturdy base. I've got a yoga mat over there as well, which you guys can see. You know, I do a lot of yoga at the moment. That's self-improvement, that's quite esoteric, that's fitness. But I do it for a definite reason, because I want to be more limber. I want to get better posture. You know, I want to get rid of bodily tension in my body. You know, I've just ordered, like, a special kind of pillow. Like, if you know Carl Rahm, he did a video about sleep optimization, and, like, there was stuff there that was like, yeah, I'm down, let's do it. And one thing he said is like get a special pillow because it allows better sleep posture. And I'm hoping if that pillow works, I'll be able to sleep on like even harder surfaces, and so I can experiment with that. There are still all these cool things that I do that are self-improvement. I still meditate, I still get exercise. I do all this stuff, but there's a wider picture around it. And I'm not sacrificing real life to do it. Like yesterday, I just had a free day. Like it was the weekend, and I thought about what to do. And part of me was like, I should go to the gym and exercise. But then I was like, no, like I wanna like go forward with these vlogs, and actually like do something real. And so I was like, actually no, I'm just gonna take this time to go and record some vlogs. And I went to Abingdon and did some vlogging there. And like, you can say like, oh, that's Jeffrey, that's Cope, whatever, but there's only so much stuff you can just do to optimize yourself. And at some point, you just got to actually think, what am I on this earth to do? Is it to optimize every part of my body and have like a really aesthetic body? No, like you've got a higher purpose that you have to serve. And it's funny, I mean, all of Hamza's early stuff I find really interesting because he tells you to do like a lot of great stuff, like go to the gym, meditate, earn money, all this stuff. But I'm not talking so much about Hamza now, but like when he really pops off. But like, what was kind of the reason behind, like, why was he telling you to do all this stuff? Well, he was telling you to do all this stuff, I think, because it got you girls. One of the things that like made Hamza so successful is, unlike all these other soft self-improvement influencers, he came out and he said, no, I'm going to the gym specifically because I want to attract girls, and I'm going to build my physique in a way that is specifically geared towards attracting women. I'm not going to the gym for the boys. What a breath of fresh air that was when he said that. And like, so he's telling you to do all this good stuff, meditate, go to the gym, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, that's only there to get girls. And I feel like that kind of self-improvement, it just falls into hedonism and just pursuing pleasure. And in a sense, it just becomes instant gratification. Like, it's delayed gratification to begin with because you've got to work to get that stuff. But then once you get it, it's you're kind of, life just becomes meaningless, And at some point you need to switch on to a higher purpose, and act accordingly. And look, I'm not saying, this is a difficult thing, I'm not saying like don't look after your body. I'm not saying don't exercise and stuff like that. Like, that stuff's still important to do, but it's important because I want to live long so that I can achieve what I'm on this earth to do. That's, to me now, that's much more compelling reason to exercise than just, I want like to optimize my physique. And again, like, I know this kind of sounds cope and whatever, like many people disagree, but I just really think I've been there. Like, it's not like I've shied away from it. Like, I just sacrificed my whole life, basically, my whole routine. I built it around self-improvement and just getting a good physique and self-optimization, all this stuff. And to be honest, I just hated my life. I was just so miserable. And yet, I just live like, a super unhealthy life when I'm in Moldova. I'm drinking, I'm not exercising, I'm sleeping poorly. And yet, I'm in bliss, like, for the whole time I'm there. And it makes me quite angry to think about, like, the time I've lost to just, well, I should have known better. So yeah, anyway, there you go, guys. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I think it's a really interesting one. But yeah, if you do enjoy these kind of videos, you want to learn more, just click the bottom link in the description. Doing some free one-on-one coaching at the moment. So book a free session with me. We can get you some goals, get you accountable, stuff like that. But apart from that, guys, it's been a pleasure.